I am on a higher plane, Charlie. Literally.
Higher place, Charlie. Literally. Ghanesian.
Ghanesian.
Wow, no duelist. Oh, there we go. We actually get rain. Ghanesian. Tokyo 2. Ghanesian.
Their Sova looks familiar. What am I saying? Of course not.
What am I saying?
Going Astro, guys.
Going Astro, guys.
About there.
About
Right there.
Enemy spotted A. Rest.
Pulling them in.
Enemy spotted A.
Viper's 1 HP, 120 on him.
Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
No more to oppose us.
Spike spotted A.
Stay on their trail.
I'm going above. That should work.
That should work.
That'll work.
That'll work.
That'll work. I need a star.
Right here. Caution.
Blocking vision.
Enemies A.
Ah, he's waiting. He's waiting.
Here.
Too short.
Enemy down. The eye is down.
One enemy remaining.
Death. Revealing area. Shock done. Caution here.
Out of charges.
30 seconds left.
How many stars I put on? There. Gosh, it's so still.
Let them try to get through me.
Let's see now. Right there.
Right there.
That'll work.
Oh, don't overthink it. That's my job.
Sure.
Caution here.
Need that back. Taking that back.
Oh no.
Deploying drone.
Pulling them in.
Shock dart.
Without us blocking
Enemy
vision.
spotted A.
Can I get healed?
Reloading.
Enemy spotted B.
Caution here.
Gun here.
Obscuring vision.
Reyna killed.
Yep.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
Spike spotted B.
Reloading. Gun here.
Scanning ahead.
10 seconds left.
Turret out.
今のスモークどうやった最低のアキレジャー。
If you've never seen a massacre, this is what it looks like.
Ne?
Sentry.
Up I go. Concealment. Pulling them in. Obscuring vision. Well divided.
Enemy spotted. Pathetic. Found them. Spike it.
Spike down B.
One.
One enemy
Stand
remaining.
down. Spike is here.
Sheesh.
Thirty seconds left.
Covering it.
Act on my intel. Don't give them time to
Need a drop.
reposition.
Turret out.
Okay, who?
Checking the situation. About there.
Placing sentry. Sage, protect the others.
Concealment.
Nova removed.
Pulling them in.
There. Taken out.
Take flight.
Careful
一
here.
人左いる。
Right
そう
here.
Concealment. Need that back.
やば
Taking that back.
何このやつあれだなあ、待って、いいかも今のでよかった重たい
30 seconds left.
Got to target and start blasting it.
あー、ファック
Reloading.
10 seconds left.
Scanning ahead.
Time to stock back up.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Turret out. Heading to the above. That'll work. Alarm bot out.
Placing swarm grenade. Caution here.
またそこっちか
Blocking vision.
Caution here.
Obscuring. Recovering it. Need that back. Taking that back.
Right here. Caution here. Caution here.
Got to target it. Blocking vision. Pulling them in. Reloading. I need a stop. Knocking them.
One enemy remaining.
Right there.
Plenty.
30 seconds left.
Oh, brave.
Spike planted.
Hey, yeah. It's good.
My power does not bend. Ask for aid, and you shall receive.
Going astral, guys.
Look off, look off, look off, look off.
Checking the situation.
There.
Obscuring vision.
Spike down B.
Spikes here.
え、こっちこっちってどっちっていうあれやっけ
One enemy remaining.
You were a gold.
75
I am a mountain. Placing sentry.
Is everyone's tech still working? Double check it, please.
Reloading.
Up I go.
どこまでかわからん
That should work.
こっちかこっちじゃなくて
That'll work.
The unknown.
Placing swarm grenade.
Concealment. Concealment. Pulling them in. Killer.
GG。
One enemy remaining.
Trinity, you're welcome. Out of the charges.
ああ What the fuck うんちすまん
Spike started B.
They demand a fight. Who are we to disobey?
Turret out.
Whatever
I'm going above. Woo! Let's start.
Revealing area.
Without us, obscuring vision.
Enemy spotted A.
Obscuring vision.
I am the hunter!
Enemy spotted B. Multiple enemies. Stay down.
Spike down
Covering
A.
it. Need that back. Pulling them in.
Spotted A. Enemy spotted.
Well divided.
一人シャワーおるです相場気をつけて
Right there.
Take flight.
More
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Concealment.
Spike down A.
Spike spotted A.
I'm impressed, Sova.
ナイフを走っていたからマジでガチバチ
Placing sentry.
Let's see now. Right there. That'll work. About there. Recovering it.
Caution here.
Blocking vision.
Enemy spotted B.
Concealment. Fire in the hole.
Wait, really?
Pulling them in.
Deploying drone.
Without us, blocking vision.
What?
Enemy spotted B.
Concealment.
Caution here. Caution here.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
We are strong because we are together. Don't forget that. Gun here.
Gun here.
Heading to the above. That should work.
That should work
work?
Turret out. Here.
Concealment! Pulling them in!
Good attempt.
I need to start concussing him. Obscuring vision. Reloading.
いたいたいたいた。つだないよ。
Taking that back. Need more Astra stars. Taking that back.
Placing sentry.
やばいよやばいよ。
30 seconds left.
Welcome to my world.
Spike planted.
Need that back. Right there. I need a stop. Concealment.
Last player
Ah,
standing.
fuck. What's the door? ああ、ここは吸い込みやったな。まあね。問題ない問題ない。
Revealing area.
Last round before the switch.
Equip yourselves, oh. Money day, fala. Spend it.
Turret out.
Up I go. About there. That'll work.
That'll work.
Blocking vision.
The hunt begins.
Blocking vision.
いたいたいたいたいた。
Oh, I'm not obscuring out of the charges. Knocking them. Need healing. Too stupid.
Your duty is not over.
Healing you. Recovering it.
Gun here.
30 seconds left.
Got to target it. Stop concealment.
Precise.
One enemy remaining.
Good.
Spike down B.
Spike spotted B.
Switching
We have
sides.
plenty of time, oh. Here and now. Be here and now. Let's see now.
Let's see now.
Right there. Right there.
anticipated us winning.
Checking the situation.
Oh my god.
Going B. Recovering it.
Facing
Need that back.
sentry.
Blocking vision. Blocking vision. Pulling them in.
Standing ahead. Found them. Reloading. Shot that.
Our spikes down. Cutting their vision.
Caution
Spike
here.
down B.
Enemy spotted B.
Reloading.
That's done.
Caution here. Reloading.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Dead.
はい。な
Your life will go.
Scanning ahead.
レジェンド。
Match point.
Stomp out their last breath.
Right there.
Gun here.
I'm going above. Heading to the above.
Enemy spotted A.
Healing you.
Turret out.
Pulling. Concealment. Concealment.
Enemy
Spotted A.
Last
spike
player
carrier is dead.
standing. Spike down A.
Revealing area.
30 seconds left.
だからもう買わんかったのがよくやらかしたかもしれん。
Once more into battle. I'm not tired. Are you?
saving.
What's it?
I'm saving.
てれてっててて
I got money. Need something? Need a drop. Keep it cool. That's how you survive.
Concealment.
Enemy
シ
spotted.
ャワー出た先2回目できる。
Right there.
出れそうシャワー。
Obscuring vision. Obscuring vision. Oh, come on.
ナイス。ヘブン。キモモク無理。
Caution here.
Being sent.
Spike planted. Without a start. Concealment.
player standing.
うんだ。
Stay taut as a bowstring. The fight demands it.
I am with you. We are strong. Right there. Obscuring vision.
No more Sova.
Taking that back. Blocking vision. Concealment.
Spike down B.
Soul shots.
One enemy
Well
remaining.
divided. Enemy spotted. B. Blocking vision.
ねこれ。
I got this fight.
Attackers win.
Of course we won. I don't insult my personality. Reload.
これはいいな。このランク帯やからっていうのあるけどな、絶対。
Match found.
めっちゃオロナミーシてれてーてれてーてれてれて
お願いします。
あーす
Going astral, guys. Concealment.
はい
Pulling them in.
裏
Found them. Target out.
Oh my goodness はい
Spike
でどっ
down
から
A
出るこれ
Last player standing.
Raise. I love your boom style, my girl.
Jeez
Reloading.
Taking that back.
Enemy spotted mid.
Got to target as obscuring vision.
Scanning ahead. Reloading. Reloading. Enemy spotted C.
Pulling them in.
Reloading.
Right there.
What the fuck What are
Enemy
these guys?
spotted mid.
Last player standing. Spike down mid.
あラッシュしても後ろから来るやんなさあ
What's
ど
so
うしたらいい
special about that Killjoy's tech? I've got visual sensors too. They're called eyes.
Up I go. That should work. I need to stop blocking vision. Got to target a
Healing
star.
area.
Blocking vision. Recovering it. Reloading.
Turret out.
Bullseye.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
Without us,
Placing swarm
concealment.
Spike planted.
Without a star, concealment. Need that back. I need is obscuring vision.
Hawk out.
マジこの辺で待ってたらガチで空もえぐい
Oh! Right there.
Reloading.
Now again, we must repeat that. Our progress demands it.
Oh, he's right now. Whatever. He's coming.
Heading to the above. Checking the situation.
Nice.
Let's see now. Without a star, I am blocking vision.
Hawk out. Placing sentry.
Revealing area.
Go get it. Reloading.
パパパパパパパ
Time to hunt. Gal destroyed.
そうば入って右肩据える俺
Take flight.
Nice.
Hawk out!
バレてそうじゃん
Taking that back. Blocking vision. And you're pulling them in.
Hawk out.
No more. Scanning ahead.
Concealment.
Reloading.
やばい
Found them.
Get out of here!
Placing sentry.
Reloading.
Target destroyed.
One enemy remaining.
ナイス。
These parasites aren't going to take one step past this place.
Can I get this?
I'm going above. Recovering it.
Reloading.
Enemy spotted C.
Going B.
じゃあミス
Going C. Concealment. Obscuring, pulling them in.
Spike planted. Time to hunt. Taking cuts.
Boom.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Meus amores, live another day.
なんていい
No one beats my firepower. I got this.
Here. Watching this. Watching this. Watching this. Watching this. Reloading.
I need a stop. Need that back.
Enemy spotted B.
Got obscuring vision.
Target out.
Without a stop. Concealment.
なんか木ガーバックね
Reloading.
Taking that back.
ここじゃない
Found one.
You should run. Spike down mid.
Enemy placing alarm bot.
I have the spike.
Reloading.
Going B. Got attack blocking vision. Concealment. I need a
Placing
stop.
swarm grenade.
何これ
Swarm grenade out.
あー変なとこに
Last player standing.
Got a spike.
Spike down B.
待つべきや一回外出たらよかっ
We have plenty of time, Mo. Here and now. Be here and now.
My ultimate is ready.
Rush them.
多分相場でこうされます。
たなるほど
フェイクで使います。相場 A にいるんで。
Party.
Blocking vision.
Initiated.
Nowhere to run!
You will not kill
Going
my
C.
あ
ally.
あ嘘マジでしにくい
The hunt begins.
シーロンでオーブ取ってる一人
Hawk out.
シーロン一人いる政治
Placing sentry.
Pulling them in. Concealment. Need that back.
Bomb grenade.
Got a target obscuring vision.
Enemy spotted.
Spike plant. Hawk out.
Well divided.
Delete. Placing alarm bot.
Out of the charges. Knocking them.
Enemy down. Enemy spotted. C.
One enemy remaining.
Got three.
Right there. Challenge.
Merci.
I face one. I kill him.
If you're not a good shot today, don't worry. There are other ways to be useful.
Up I go. Checking the situation.
That's how you survive.
Recovering it. Concealment.
Alarm bot.
Somebody out.
Got a target obscuring vision.
Medic. Healing over here.
Reloading. Watching here.
Placing Hawk out.
I've got your trail.
Down.
Blocking concealment.
There they are. I have spike.
30 seconds left. Spike down, C. One enemy remaining.
What the hell?
Don't worry. Don't think it, eh?
Eh.
Heading to the
ダ
above.
メだけ
Taking that back. Obscuring
Enemy
vision.
There they are.
Charge out. Seek them out.
Hawk out. Obscuring vision. Concealment. Pulling them in.
あー140キルじゃ
That's done.
One enemy remaining.
Last three.
Hey, that was audacious. is here.
Watching this.
Tear
Watching
them
this.
down.
Let's see now. Need the back.
Reloading.
Without a start. Concealment.
Turret up. Reloading.
Take flight.
Without a start. I'm blocking vision.
Reloading. Makes your girl down.
I need a
Revealing
start.
area.
Obscure. Pulling them in.
白いる。
Reyna killed.
静止100ならあれ以上
Placing sentry.
Oh my goodness
Get destroyed.
ロングいる。
Enemy spotted C.
One enemy remaining.
Free. Reloading.
A bow and arrow is old-fashioned, but sometimes old ways are best.
I got money. Need something?
Can I get a drop?
これワンチャン総合としても
Need a drop.
Don't keep them ground.
Going astral, guys. About there. Without concealment. Covering it.
Reloading.
I need a start.
Deploying
Blocking
drone.
vision. Taking that back. Need that back. Going C.
Enemy spotted C.
The hunt begins.
Going C.
なんで帰ってくんのこいつわけわからんって感じ
Pulling them in. Concealment.
Placing sentry.
You should run.
Spike planted.
I've got your trail.
Initiated.
ほっやばい
Right there.
Last player standing.
Turret destroyed.
One enemy remaining.
Found them.
F。
Calculated.
Last round in the half.
Spend those creds before we lose them.
Can I get a drop?
なんで
I'm going above. Got to target it. Stop obscuring vision.
Take flight.
Enemy spotted A.
A 賞言いに来た
Enemy spotted.
Without a star, I cannot. Pulling them in.
Turret out.
Concealment.
Defeated.
What is it?
Placing swarm grenade.
Recovering it. Blocking vision.
Last player standing.
いや、ごめん、ナイストライ。
なかった。エース。
A.
You will not kill my ally.
Switching sides.
Surrounded by minha família. We won't lose.
Turret out.
Heading to the above. Let's see now. That'll work.
Keep doing what you do best.
Need that back. Concealment. Pulling them in.
Yeah, let's be close.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Spike down mid.
Distant. Quick. Settle.
What the fuck?
Spike is here.
Anyone have any splints? I may have jammed my fingers. Multiple fingers.
What just happened?
Placing sentry. Gone here.
I'm going above.
Yeah, kinda tough.
Time for a field test.
I need a star. Concealment.
Hawk out.
Blocking vision.
Take flight.
I need a star. Obscuring vision.
Enemy spot. Hawk out.
Obscuring vision.
Reloading.
Gone.
Oh!
Shock dart.
Pulling them in.
Hawk out.
30 seconds left.
Sky's out. Reloading.
Spike planted.
Revealing area.
One enemy remaining.
Tie.
Oh, good throw.
It is over. Reloading. Act on my intel. Don't give them time to reposition.
Turret out.
Going astral, guys. That'll work. Checking the situation. Got to target concealment. Blocking vision.
A 行ってるめっちゃ。Oh my god.
Alarm bot down. Tighten up, girly. Hawk out.
Scanning ahead.
Blinded.
Found them.
Last player standing. Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
What do you say, drone? Ready to stretch your wings?
2、3、4、5、150かける4の5、5、25、250の500、750か。高い。スティンがあるんですよ。
Up I go. Right there. Blocking vision. Concealment.
Gosh.
Okay.
You should run. Spike planted.
Bot coming back. Bot coming back.
Enemy spotted B.
Last player standing. Flawless.
No worries, Charlie. No worries.
Caution here.
スティンがすごいんちだな、マジで。
Time to mobilize my pack.
Let's see now. Taking that back.
B リコン来た。
Got to target concealment.
B 入ったかも。めっちゃいる、そこミッドのとこ。B プラント。
Spike planted.
Enemy spotted B.
Last player standing.
Turret down. Auf Wiedersehen. Oh. Don't die. If you need help figuring out how, just ask.
Moving to the above. With that concealment. Blocking vision.
Enemy spotted. C.
Obscuring vision.
Oh my god. あ、待って。
しまする。
Spike down. C.
I am the hunter!
相場ロー。
Deploying drone.
キルジョイ65。
Last player standing.
やるな。
30 seconds left.
ムーブの
Spike planted.
いやこれヘッド当たってなんで死んでないんってなると思う。そのバンドルやったらヘッド当たってないかなと。
Everyone makes fun of German efficiency.
シンプル
Ha
当
ha.
選
Laughing as you use all my gear.
Placing sentry.
I'm going above.
こうやな。
始末。
Spotted A. Enemy spotted C. Caution here.
白見えなかった。
Recovering it. Obscuring vision.
B 入った。
Spike planted.
Initiated. Placing swarm grenade. I've got your trail. Swarm grenade out.
Scanning ahead.
Found them. Enemy spotted. Hawk out.
ガレージいる。
I'll get it.
Last player standing.
Make sure to follow my pack in. They'll lead us right to the enemy.
Turret out.
Going astral, guys. Concealment. Concealment.
Hawk out.
Deploying drone.
Spike down mid.
TD マスター。
Wild.
Pulling them in.
You should run.
Without us, concealment.
B 入ってる。もう一人、もう一人、もう一人。
Spike planted.
スカイロー。
Need more as pulling them
Garage
in.
だ。
One enemy remaining. player standing.
ナイス。
口回らんな。
My quiver is never full.
知りたくなかったな、マジで。
I got yous, okay?
Revealing area. Perfect.
Blocking vision.
Spike planted.
Well divided.
壁の左にジャッジいるかも。
Enemy spotted A.
それを
Last player standing.
Neutralized. Nowhere to run!
You can trust my bots. They only malfunctioned that one time, and honestly, she won't miss that finger.
Turret out.
やっぱ俺が思ってた切り方がなんか違う。
Turret out.
Checking the situation. That should work. Blocking vision.
Enemy spotted mid.
Got to tap.
I've got your trail.
Got to target as concussing him.
Seek them out.
I am the hunter!
Look at that.
もう一人グラスいる。
Right
Revealing
there.
area.
Blinded.
There they are.
俺引っ張れるそこの政治。
Reloading.
Thirty seconds left.
Caution.
C 来てる C 来てる。待って。来てる。
Taking that back. Obscuring vision.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
That was fun. Do you think they had fun?
Match point.
We can end it now. Once more.
Turret out. Cool. That's how you survive.
Without
Enemy
a star.
spotted B.
Obscuring vision.
Reloading.
A スカイトレイナー。
Without a star at concealment.
Enemy spotted A.
Spike down A.
一人 B。
Gone.
One enemy remaining.
Heal up, squad.
Scanning ahead.
Last player standing. Thirty seconds left.
Chuck dart.
Nice.
Defenders
ありがとうござい
win.
ました。
Today is not our day to die.
うん。
This lineup, and this was working.
Being able to be that's going to be useful. The Seeker's almost online, and if they have to bum out into another eco round, you got Fatinho, who's almost got that Bladestorm up as well. Whereas you, I think it was the Seekers, the Empress as well. Not a lot to be taught.
Little bear. You know, when Breeze first came out and we got to try it out, I got really distracted and kind of stopped playing it and just went and hunted all of the bears and then uploaded on Twitter screenshots of every single bear I found. There were a lot.
Aren't they sloths?
Huh?
Aren't they sloths?
Well, they're all different. Some of them are bears. There's like some penguins and some squirrels somewhere.
True, I've seen a worm or two.
The one you never see when they're observing is the one that's in the sort of geode thing in the cave. In like the blue geode thing, the little radianite thing. There's a little bear
Just because
hidden
it's
in
got
there.
your name on it, alright? Just because it's got your name in it doesn't mean that everyone's going to take the time
It's
to
the best
go and
bear.
investigate. I'm sure. Well, the best headshot for Hoodie on the push. Be able to control SSK. Just trade it out. Cloud finds what he's looking for. Gonna get darted out.
Oh no.
David P caught the cross out in the open. Dino makes short work of that one. Vodafone Giants flagging a little bit for Fatinho. Ever present with this operator. On somewhat of an awkward buy for the rest of the team, though.
No hard
That's going to hurt. And B was in the L drone as well, so no chance of seeing that one. I think sneaks under the purview. Fatinho now with quite a lot to do. Meadow, 8 HP and only a sheriff. Bush needs to come in. Yeah, I think you do just save this operator. There's a rifle right on the other side of that screen. That's exactly what Meadow was moving forwards to try and get. Using that Viper wall, they'll be able to save a little bit more money into the next.
Makes perfect sense. If I remember correctly, this was not an operator that they bought this round. This was the one that Hoodie picked up, right? And handed back over. After the timeouts, my sense of time has been lost, so I'm trying to think how long it's been since that was the round. I think that was it. So it definitely saves them a lot of money considering the fact they're going to have to buy up those remaining weapons. And you don't want to risk having to spend an extra 4,700 on top of everything else for a round that you're likely to not win.
Turret out.
Arch in round 18 is still on 3 kills and Abby's on 4. It's curious that there's such a disparity across both of these. Is still on 3 kills and Abby's on 4. It's curious that there's such a disparity across both of these teams in terms of the kill counts, right? And so late into the game, you expect those averages to start to sort of bump a little bit up.
Sure, but when you consider the agents that they're playing, they're not necessarily in roles where you're going to be looking for them to be fragging out. You know, in a lot of cases, especially on the defense, Archer's been on the other side of the map, very similarly to how David P is now. You know, Viper kind of just chills out somewhere for the most part.
I mean, sure. But we still, you know, we've had 6 rounds now on their attack and still yet to really have too much to say about it. Vitinho moves through. Meadow, though, takes the kill away, and actually the knives don't get reset that time. Puts them away. We'll have to wait for it. Snipe will not be able to land. Cloud lands the headshot instead. It's traded. The Na'Vi come out on top. 3 versus 3 now. Overall, and quicker on the draw, it's Cloud yet again. Starting to pop off. Seeker's now invested after coming online. The spray downs are good, and Cloud will finally fall to the snake by Ambi. Gets another. And now it's 1 versus 2 for Arch. Who said he needed to step up a little bit more. Spots the Viper. Will be able to shut down the Viper pit. Did get tapped. Oh, and the stop on the defuse there is crucial. Gives the game away. The footsteps, but Arch steps up. And big time as well. Na'Vi up to 11.
There you go, John. You spurred him on. It was actually a really, really good kill as well to be able to bring down the Viper's pit as they were looking to go for the retake. That
tough love.
Just basically single-handedly gave Na'Vi that round. It would have been much, much harder to contest had that ultimate finished going up. So let's go, Arch. We appreciate you. You know, for me, actually, if we're looking at like where people are in the scoreboard, the one that captures my eye is the fact that Vitinho's on a negative KD.
Which is quite interesting. I mean, given that you're playing on the Jet, normally you see them topping the tables. And it feels like he's been having some impact frags as well coming through, but for now, it's just not really being brought to bear. Moving on up towards the A, claiming that ult orb. And again, leaving David P across the map. Wondering when are they going to come B? Don't even have the Viper's pit to be holding on. They busted that one out in the last round. Cloud just nails 2. Looks for a third. Meadow puts an end to it. But SSK still going. And the spike looking to get planted now. Na'Vi, they want the map point here on Breeze. We talked about how both of these teams maybe not super confident on this map, but for now, Na'Vi certainly sitting head and shoulders above. 7 to 11, really dicey scoreline to be sure, and with another kill going over, but Meadow racks up 2 more. 13 HP's not going to be enough though when you swing on that. The Vandal lands the headshot, and it wouldn't even mattered if you had full. 7 to 12.
All right. Hey, John, this might be the first 3-map best of 3 that we get to cast in the playoffs.
Ooh.
That's
exciting.
I mean, it is exciting, especially because this was very much the map that coming into it, I thought, Na'Vi really have a disadvantage here. And actually, that doesn't seem to be the case. And we've mentioned a couple of times Na'Vi not having a real storied history on this map. But Giants haven't played it a ton either, and the last couple of times that they have, they also lost. So there's a weakness for both of them. Right now, seemingly more so for Giants, who can't seem to pull it back while they're on the defense.
And when you consider as well the change in agents, right? You've got Meadow moving over to the Killjoy instead of playing on that Cypher. You have to wonder if they're going to be double thinking. They're going to be thinking twice about doing that again in the future. I mean, I haven't really seen the lockdown have too much of an effect. I mean, sure, the Killjoy turrets have been decent in circumstances, but they've been dealt with so many times.
My ult's not ready. My ult's not ready.
It certainly does make you wonder. Oh, they're going to start making their initiation here onto B, led by the Hawks, but it's David P to get that opening kill as he backs off into the site.
I know exactly where.
Taken on down, 2 players already falling. Meadow doing so much work trying to keep this one going. I mean, I said maybe the Killjoy isn't the best pick, but the guy playing it is pretty good as well. You have to be worried. 2 players now standing for Na'Vi, trying to boot their way up to the B site, but Dinks moving through. 3 bullets left in the magazine, so need to land those headshots. Only 13 seconds. Slow for Na'Vi as ever, but with just 12 seconds left, they will be starting to go for it. A lovely little headshot there coming through. Dino finds another, and now it's just Vitinho. Has a Vandal himself, trying to move around the side. I think they know he's onto site, and now into a 1 versus 1. Vitinho low, and the spray goes the way of Dinks to bring Na'Vi to a 13-7, and we're going to our map number 3.
Oh my god, I can't believe it's actually happening! Na'Vi really pulled it out there in their attack. You know, given what I said, that the attacking half ostensibly is the worst half for Na'Vi, and that is where things could have gotten quite scary for them, just given their recent performances on this map. But for them to come through and actually pull that out, and I think, you know, some of that credit does almost have to go to the fact that Giants looked far less confident on the defense themselves than they did on the attack, and that obviously balances it out somewhat. But taking it into a map number 3 for you know, games that have while at times looked dominating, other times looked close, actually turned out to be fairly well balanced. I'm ready for this one.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We'll see if they can duke it out over on Split. We're only going to have one winner. And remember, this is an elimination game. It's an elimination series, which means if you go down here, you're not going to Berlin. You're not going to be able to qualify. We're going to head over to the analyst desk to set things up, to tee us up for the next game. Whilst we have a little bit of a break before that, you can listen to some music. And of course, that's going to be Aframi featuring Nugleta, Resist Your Love.
Calling my name, pull me closer, make me stay on the beat of your game, make me wonder, can get away. I know you're type and not just what you like. You'll shoot right through and in between the eyes. I no longer know what's wrong or right, and I'm in danger, and I'm wondering why. Feelings getting stronger. Can I resist your love? Will I resist your love? Tell me. My heart beat like thunder. Can I resist your love? Will I resist your love? Someone tell me. Someone tell me. Someone tell me now I'm lost in the streets. Got my last hour on repeat. I got shot fatally. Got me bleeding. Can't you see? I know you're type and not just what you like. You'll shoot right through and in between the eyes. I no longer know what's wrong or right, and I'm in danger, and I'm wondering why. Feelings getting stronger. Can I resist your love? Will I resist your love? Tell me. My heart beat like thunder. Can I resist your love? Will I resist your love? Someone tell me. Someone tell me.
What should I play on Split, guys? So we've got no Smoker. I guess I'll play Astra. I can teach you how to play Astra on Split. Okay, so guys, to play Astra, hold on. First, I like to buy, because we're in a ranked, I'll buy this and a Frenzy. And Killjoy's on there, so I want to put something to help out Killjoy. Maybe I'll do one thing to make them kind of scared to rush into the Killjoy. And then I'll just have a safety net on B main, because B main's kind of weak right now. So I'll probably I'll fake star this. Boom. I like to have my stars slightly out. So they smoke B heaven. We have a Sage in mid. Jet's got cleared out this. So what I'm gonna do is gonna have a star over here. Take this one back. I dragged them. So I dragged them here stream.
Are they competing? Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't mean it.
Na'Vi, they put the easy back in Breeze there as they lock in this map, and now we're split right down the middle. 1-1 in this series.
Smoker. I guess I'll play Astra. I can teach you how to play Astra on Split. Okay, so guys, to play Astra, hold on. First, I like to buy, because we're in a ranked, I'll buy this and a Frenzy. And Killjoy's on there, so I want to put something to help out Killjoy. Maybe I'll do one thing to make them kind of scared to rush into the Killjoy. And then I'll just have a safety net on B main because B main's kind of weak right now to start. So I'll probably I'll fake star this. Boom. I like to have my stars slightly out. So they smoke B heaven. We have a Sage in mid. Jet's got cleared out this. So what I'm going to do is going to have a star over here. Take this one back. I dragged them. So I dragged them here stream.
Are they smoking? Yeah, you have They want me, mate.
Just unfortunately it didn't feel like that.
Yes,
Spike down, B. One enemy.
Oh, hey! And that's how you do it, baby. Sometimes stream, you gotta hide. And that angle, no one checks that angle. Right, so same again stream. This time I'll give myself.
You every round smoke here. Just
yeah.
like maybe for 1 second, maybe like cancel.
I'm gonna give him 2 stars stream.
I didn't know where he was.
So I like to have 2 stars here. I'm gonna do a fake star. I'll do a double fake.
Enemy spotted B.
I'm a bit scared for this Jet.
Spike down mid.
I'll swing with you, Jet. Let's get him.
Two more mid.
So I need to get my stars in middle now. Are they breaking? Huh?
Pulling them in.
Just in case they were coming up there.
Yeah, bro. Take my phantom. Don't let him take it.
I'm gonna be careful. I'm gonna take a star back here, stream, because obviously B main's clear. So I'm just gonna sit in CT spawn. They can go down heaven, out heaven.
And this way we see a more
I'm gonna drag because it looks like Killjoy.
Not pushing it.
I want to tuck in quickly before I check the stairs. Place another star here. Probably one there. The second one's not that good, but the first one on the choke is always going to be good. And I'm just going to hold this. If they come behind me, they come behind me. But one is in heaven, so I'll take this one back probably. They could actually push me from A heaven here, so you have to be aware of that. So the bomb's down there, so we know the bomb's there. Okay, so nice. He gets a kill. We win it. Okay. So same again, stream. What I want to do, I like having 2 stars here just to give me some instant support. He wants a star there, so I'll give him one. I'll give him another supportive one there.
Taking that back.
Astro stars on B heaven.
A lot of stars towards B. So I'll put a star here. Looks like they're pushing quite hard. But they got stopped by the Sage wall. That's why Sage is super strong in the map.
Concealment.
Oh shit. One in B main. Battle Astra. It's a lot harder to play Astra in this in ranked, I must admit. Because you don't have setups. That Astra's really good when you have like kind of set setup. So to play it on the fly is a bit harder. But I do think I'll go Phantom on this map because Phantom's just good on this map. So once again, because I'm kind of the B anchor, I think wherever you want to anchor as Astra, you put your main stars. I can put a drag here if I wanted to, but it feels like a waste of utility. I feel like they're coming out heaven quite a bit, so I'm gonna actually put a star here this round. I'll put one here, and I'll put one here.
A lot of master stars.
All my stars are very passive right now. This Jet seems to be pushing B main, gets a nice kill. Bomb down too. I'm gonna play here.
Just leave heaven. Just leave it.
I'm gonna hold it.
They walk in. You walk through my slow.
Pulling them in.
Is it danger? Oh my god. Do you think Astra is fun to play in solo queue?
You know, I'll win those, baby.
I don't know, but this race just won a clutch, which is nice. Is Astra fun to play in solo queue? I doubt it. I doubt she's as fun as like in team play. I quite like her in team play because obviously I'm IGLing and I'm like kind of dictating I'm not dictating. I am dictating like I'm in charge of everything for our team. So Reyna keeps abusing middle, so I'm actually going to switch up here. I'm going to go into ropes because in ropes I think you can find quite a nice little cheat. I'm going to give the Jet 2 things here. I'll do one there, and I'll actually do one here just to make Reyna a bit scared. She's not scared. Okay, so we saved the sewer, but they haven't broken it. So they're breaking it out. One in sewers. Now, it looks like they're going. hold it. Help the sage. I smoke these, yeah.
Can you
I can ult, I know, I can ult here. Exactly.
One enemy remaining.
You saw that? Who saw that?
So this is the best wall for an Astra ulti on B retake, I think personally. Just because it means when you come onto the retake, you can cut off this side, like this. What's the point of thinking about stars at the start of the round officially? Because you want to set kind of a default in the enemy's head. So if I do the same stars at the start of the round, sometimes I can push off them. So in this game, I'm not doing the right stars. And normally I do like aggressive stars like this. But because I kind of want to just make sure I have the set out. Like I could do. I'm smoked up front, right? I'm gonna smoke the middle.
One today. Gonna help you mid.
One enemy remaining.
One more.
One more in this one.
Nice. So there we go. They were abusing the stage in middle, so I play a little ropes angle, do a smoke, up and we go. When do you find the use for the stun? The stun is situational. I think the stun is like against AWPers potentially, and like if there's a spot where the drag doesn't work, like here, like the drag's not very good here because it don't really. I mean, it might be alright, but like a stun and a nade here could be better than the drag and a nade. I don't know really. Like I generally use it when I don't have my suck up. Personally, I think the suck is always the S tier one that you want to be using. Oh my goodness, my bad. Is there an audio cue if you get stunned someone? Nah, there's no audio cue. Stun is quite good with like. Sometimes I like to do like a stun and drag combo, and if you get the stun and then the drag, they can't get out of the drag, so it's really strong there. But generally, I like to just keep it.
Online hero.
Chill. I think the Reyna's gonna do the same. I'll play here stream because I think Reyna's gonna want to walk out. Which side is Reyna gonna walk out on stream? She's definitely in this one. Pushing me.
Joke's over! You're dead!
The hunt begins.
That creature is dead.
Oh my god, stream, I'm so bad. If I was good, I win that stream. You know.
Spike planted.
So that's what you want to do. You always want to kind of play around your smokes as an Astra, because when you can do instant smokes or instant cages, playing around them is really strong. Obviously the smokes are actually better because they're bigger radius than the cages. So you saw that as the Phoenix ran in, I moved my position and played a bit closer. But I kind of whiffed after that. I think I could have gotten both. First round, I'm gonna actually buy full utility because I think my utility is more important than me having a USP this round. Because I'm gonna just pick up a USP from my team. I'm gonna put one thing here. Yeah.
I really like simplicity. Let's go.
So I kind of want to just. I'm gonna put that star there and those stars in the middle.
Checking the situation.
Actually, I might be able to get one back. No, I want to have 3 stars for this execution.
I'm gonna boom bot close.
I'm just gonna stay in my Astra for now.
Taking that back. Concealment.
Get a bit forward again. Under heaven 1. So I'm gonna dragon. I'm dragging.
Pulling them in.
I dragged her. I'm gonna stun the heaven because I think one's gonna come up.
Concussing him.
I'm gonna get out. Sage ward off CT, so we just care for heaven.
One behind.
One out. One needing you, Sage. 2 there. 2 on heaven.
Hello. One's flanking.
Last player standing.
Oh, my aim is not good today, stream. So I just tried to be a bit annoying when I was on the site there. That's all I could really do. Sage dying was kind of bad.
Heading to the above.
Guys, the B.
That'll work.
Okay. 3 go.
Obscuring vision.
They would, but shoot it with a.
On top.
Ah.
Wait, I have a boom bot. Wait, I'm boom bot. Number 70, you should. Amen. Well, under Raven.
Covering it. Blocking vision.
Nice.
Oh, fuck.
Got the chat.
I think that. Two spawn.
Obscuring vision.
That's my season.
Satchel out.
I think one's gonna be running. I'm gonna tap it.
Got your seat. Okay.
One out. Maybe another.
Oh.
Once again, so attack side. The stars are. We don't have a cipher, so we're lacking in that right now. But I'd say the stars I need to do is something like this. 4 stars like this, I'd say. Because we don't have a cipher. Split up now. Split up now.
One heaven.
Pulling the concealment.
Go. Let's go.
Obscuring vision.
Should be one more side, right?
What is going on? What is going on?いや、このゲームむずい。敵どこおるかわからんよね。マップないのはえぐいな。
The attack on A is resolving, so he has control over sewers. And I feel like really that's a lot of information when it comes to like patterns that the opponents are doing that you could punch. The question is, you can pay attention, right? Because you're paying attention as well to those Hoodie and David P pushes on defense if they are getting affected.
Especially when like we list, Navi as kind of this default heavy slow team. You feel like these are the little nuggets of information that you really have to pick up on. So this is the whole essence behind your game is waiting to give up that potential opener that then leads to the round coming together, right? And so they weren't able to catch David P's aggression back on Ascent. I'm hoping that they've done their homework here. So
こんなポイポイ投げますはい。ここはいるな。What?針刺さってないよな。なんか言ってたないか。
As the engagement on ramps goes the way of Cloud, and they're getting ever closer to actually moving on in, but Coutinho, he doesn't want that to happen.
Traded off low, Arch able to find another. Coutinho is low, 14 HP. They know his location, they know where he is, and the retake is good. Navi comes thundering back to A and reclaim what was once theirs. 1-0 to start things up.
Nice start there for Navi. And I honestly, like, if I'm gonna go really deep into the analysis nice and early, John, I would say that the reason it didn't work for Giants is because they went against tradition and pushed mid. You know, like changing up their playstyle so drastically like that has just completely thrown. I don't know if they're gonna be able to mentally recover.
Okay, alright, okay. Fair enough. That's pretty dramatic there, Gio. We'll see if
yeah, maybe Phoenix if he didn't rotate.
Round one.
Could be Phoenix here.
See if that momentum
I'm checking side.
but
chill out. That's a damn good suck. Sheesh. Yeah, generally I think that suck is pretty good because it's like a position that enemies like to rotate into, especially when it's really hard because I'm playing Astra outside A, so I can't make any plays because I need to be making plays to help out the team. Astra should be like
well, putting in the Cypher camera around the side. Meadow trying to gain some intel. And again, they have got those Spectres, so they are not terrible in these trades. Playing up close, they've got the range of those Sheriffs as well. First trade, it goes both ways, and Dino comes out on top, but Meadow shuts it down, and another found as well. 3 back towards Garage, though.
Bright lights calling my name. Pull me closer, make me stay on the beat of your game. Make me wonder, can get away. I know your type. know just what you like. You'll shoot right through and in between the eyes. I no longer know what's wrong or right, and I'm in danger, and I'm wondering why. Feelings getting stronger. Can I resist your love? Will I resist your love? Tell me. My heart beat like thunder. Can I resist your love? Will I resist your love? Someone tell me.
But instead, they turn around and just chuck it to the wayside. It's going to be 2-0 with Vodafone Giants investing into that second round. We've seen this story before.
And so far, Na'Vi are not necessarily falling into that prediction that they had on the desk about them conceding loads of space, but we're also not far enough into the game yet to have those full buys, to have the full weaponry, the full utility available that would kind of I suppose beef up Giants enough for them to do a kind of full force attack. So we'll have to wait a round or two for that to come through, but as it stands, Na'Vi have had a decent go at it so far.
Dino at the back of B with the judge. They try and push there, they might have another thing coming. A spread baseline of fire right now to operate from for the Vodafone Giants. You can see they've left the spike down towards mid, down towards Ramen. B site getting peeked, but Dino's there with the judge, and there's no way you get it past that. 2 kills on the trot. Lickety split, no trouble. Arch swings out on top of the wall as well and finds Ambi. There's another player there waiting, and David P able to find the kill, but at the cost of a little bit of health. Doesn't have control of the spike. Instead, sends Meadow back to try and wrest that one into their hands. 2 players alive, and versus 4. Sneak up to A, but the Killjoy util just too strong.
Yeah, and with Dinks just around the corner, that position is going to be known, and this is why you're actually seeing Cloud start to push up a little bit, because Giants have no choice but to really go this way. There's the first kill, there's the second. That's all it took for Na'Vi to put their third round on the board. Looking really clean so far, to be totally honest.
Very impressive stuff coming through for Na'Vi. They're able to get these coordinated retakes when they have to. I mean, 2 of their rounds, remember, those have been retakes. And this is, I think, the first round where I think we're going to have to see a full save coming through from the Vodafone Giants, if I'm not mistaken. They invested into a rifle this round. They bought a Vandal, they bought a couple of pistols and a Spectre or 2, and now they're just down to that Sheriff buy. So they are right scraping the bottom of the barrel. Next round should be the first rifle, but Dino might be able to convert on a cheeky little judge play.
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm really happy for him, because if you think back to when he was playing the judge on Ascent, he didn't ever really get to use it. Now he actually... Oh, no. I spoke too soon.
He's not even going to be able to squeeze off a shot there. David P's going to pick up the spoils. Spike in his control as well. They move up mid and move straight towards the back of B Heaven. Trying to control towards Spawn. The sprays from Dinks as he spots out the player. They are going to get swelled upon. Actually moving the spike towards Spawn. That's... Okay, David P has taken the spike, and it looks like they're going to have to commit towards A. Not too sure about that one. Cloud is going to go down as Patino can't quite hold there with the pistol. Okay, David P has taken the spike, and it looks like they're going to have to commit towards A. Not too sure about that one. Cloud is going to go down as Patino can't quite hold there with the pistol. The Sheriff not quite strong enough. Meadow as well on the front of A, not having the best of times. They still left the spike in defender spawn. Ambi finds another though, and again they find themselves in the numbers advantage with 38 seconds.
Well, actually the alarm bot didn't go off, and now Dinks versus Meadow here. It goes the way of Dinks. Somewhat scrappy fight over ropes there. 2 versus 2. Now Na'Vi, they've got to prove how their retake's going to be here. So far it's starting off pretty good.
3 for Ambi on the round, tailwind away, Dinks is low. It's dangerous already, 4 on the round. And Ambi able to get it done. A win on the cards for Vodafone Giants, and on a thrifty round as well. They only bought Sheriffs into it, and they were able to make it work with some cheeky picks. Open it up towards Dino in B Heaven. And from there, they felt unstoppable.
His SSK is sat at the have is that they didn't have any way of knowing.
It's going to be in play, no snipers on either side. Not going to invest into it, but again, mid presence being felt by Vodafone Giants, and I mean, they spoke on the desk about, you know, this A or B strategy, and it seems like Vodafone Giants have changed that, right? They've taken presence in mid quite a few times now, and even on this rifle round, it's their main strategy: move up, take control of vents.
Have Na'Vi made it difficult for them to do that, though? The answer, in my opinion, is no. Very rarely have Na'Vi had someone present in vents. There hasn't been a direct threat onto mid at really any point.
Quite, but that's a pretty direct threat to the gut of Ambi. The shots land, Arch able to find the first pick. Coutinho now pushing up in main.
30 seconds.
Trying to play in the stars. Spray downs come through, and Arch gets a second as well. Fast out with a blast pack. Dino gets one. Hoodie again, continuing to rain down. Na'Vi looking at answer back here. 20 seconds on the clock. The spike down over in B Heaven, and there's really nothing doing here for Vodafone Giants. They're trying to move through, but they're only going to be able to get a couple kills if that. Cloud finds yet another headshot in the game, and David P drops the dark cover, trying to hold on to the gun. Gets the spray at range, but it's traded off. SSK closes down the round, and Na'Vi pick up a fourth.
Well, that's great for them, given that they actually fully invested in that last round, so they're not going to be losing too much economically. Instead, can build off of that, rather than falling from an expensive buy. So it's a nice spot for them to be in, considering. And if you're Giants, you can just buy up what you need, because you do have the money for it. Now, having a look at these ultimates that are available, so, I mean, you have both of your duelists on Na'Vi have got your ultimates, and you have a res too. So if any round is you're gonna get aggressive for you, this would probably be it.
Moving on up, Ambi leads the charge with the last pack set his back as well from the teammate. Ambi with the knives out, swings, able to land it, get rid of that Killjoy util as well, try and move straight on through it. And there goes the neural theft. They'll know where the defense is, and they can start to ping on through. Move on to the fights. Try and gather those rotates, and look at that. That's exactly what they'll do. David P moves in and caught with a knife out. Cloud will fall.
Oh my god.
It's going to rain on his parade as Dino tries to swing the same corner and meets the same fate. Meadow able to land those headshots. Ambi with the knives has one more, but it gets reset and lands yet another. Triple kill on the round. The right click to seal the deal. Add insult to injury. Beautiful stuff from the knives of Ambi.
I mean, Ambi just showed the hell up there, because it's not even just those last couple of kills he got. That opening kill onto SSK was directly after the Empress had been popped. So what I said at the beginning of the round about that probably being what Na'Vi would want to lean into, they thought the same thing, but they were just shut down immediately. So their plan got taken away from them, and it was all because of Ambi, and then just being able to clean up with the rest of them at the end there. A really good round from him. And taking off that, you know, valuable ultimate, that option for Na'Vi, it stings.
Talking of options, though, that's a showstopper in the back pocket for Cloud. As well as the res, and pretty close to the Cosmic Divide. The ult tempo in favor of Na'Vi, but we're so close to the half that it might not matter. Every game so far in this series, Gio, it's been 6-6. So the data doesn't lie. We might be going for a Na'Vi round here. See if they can hold out, because it looks like A Heaven again under threat. They've moved the Killjoy. They tried to play her somewhere else, but this time around, they're going to be caught lacking. Arch, though, sprays down Coutinho, and a big tool in that paint shell going to be denied there. Meadow trades it off. SSK is going to fall. And out comes the showstopper on the defense. Cloud trying to stymie the flow of players towards the site, but the spike already getting invested, traded off, 1-for-1. Ambi gets another, and David P doubles up towards the spawn. And now it's just Cloud who gets taken apart. Vodafone Giants break the curse, and we're going 7 in the first half.
Last round.
It's a very interesting assault there, actually, onto the spawn through screens, because when you had those attackers who filtered out and they went back down into elbow, it kind of draws the defenders with them. So, you know, you have Cloud going through with the showstopper, and he did get the kill onto Meadow, but they don't realize that they've still got David P behind them, and that's not the first time he's done that. We mentioned it a few rounds ago when he came up from behind to try and trap them. It actually worked this time because Hoodie wasn't there to get a 3K. So
David P, king of the ratty plays. Here.
Yeah, that was a real pincer technique there from Giants. It totally paved off.
David P lurking again. Goodness me. Cloud pinned behind the cloud burst. And Ambi will be able to get the best of him. Finds the first frag, the opener. Dino deadly with the judge. In these close range scenarios, Arch as well to back him up. There's the Cypher camera. Oh, they want to see an ankle. They want to see a toe. They're not stepping out, not one jot. Trading back and forth again. Hoodie checks the angle, but this time Dino's ready and waiting. Drops back in. There's a teammate at his back as well. 32 HP as Meadow finds 1, 2. Now lines up for the last. SSK, last standing for the defense. Na'Vi on their last legs in this round and in this half as well. It's 8-4. Vodafone Giants go strong out of the first half.
They are finally breaking tradition. Not having a 6-6 half. What is this? Unprecedented scenes.
I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah, oh, I know. It's crazy. And the thing is, as well, we can't forget what this match means, what this specific map means. This is, of course, the final map of this series. Both of the maps before ended up being quite a tug of war, and whoever loses this series is out. They're not going to Berlin, definitely. So this is a big, big half for these two teams. Na'Vi, who are a relatively new team, who are looking to make their mark in the EMEA scene and hopefully internationally and beyond. And then Giants, who are this self-proclaimed gang of misfits, the underdogs of the region, who've really impressed of late.
That's pretty impressive there. SSK able to get 1, 2 as well. Traded off though as Coutinho chimes in with the paint shell and the frenzy. Lights him up, sends him back, sends him packing. Dino low on HP, Dinks as well, not really close by enough. As the spike did get spotted, will have been seen there in mid. They can just fall back. They don't want to try and wrest control. They don't want to try and keep it in their possession. They want to allow Na'Vi to run down the clock and play for these spoiler plays. David P going on his own. Why not? It's happened before, it's going to happen again.
Well, these two players from Na'Vi are sticking pretty close by together. This is the first kill from Dinks. Nice one. Want to look...
Falling back, though. With the frenzy at range, I mean, you're not going to be able to get too much done. You're really waiting for David P to go to the post-plant retake, right?
Yeah, I mean, with that spike down, you've got a little bit of utility for both of these two defending players, but just 4 HP if you're Coutinho.
One enemy remaining.
Pretty low, though. David P from up on top will be able to find 1. Dinks shuts it down with a triple kill. 5 and 8. Na'Vi take the pistol.
Pretty important round for them to put on the board, just given that they are, of course, on the back foot at this point and need to be making up for that deficit. But again, Na'Vi winning pistols has certainly been no abnormality in this series so far. You can tell the way that they actually come in for that, you know, when they were coming into the B site. They've been pretty good at doing their due diligence when they actually try to aggress, especially if they're lacking in information. That's something that Na'Vi have done pretty well so far.
They need to continue, though, and they need to continue strong. They're at a deficit right now. 5 rounds for Vodafone Giants to try and see themselves into the next round in this lower bracket. Crucial to stay alive in the tournament, but Na'Vi hot on their heels. And starting off with the pistols, a good way to go. First time we haven't seen a force into round 2, though. Seems to have been the way it's gone most of the time, but out they go with the wall. Trying to be broken early. Cloud gets the spray down through the gap that's created. Coutinho falls. So no paint shell to be spoken of for the rest of it. David P swings, though, on the blind target. Gets 1, and Ambi trades again. 3 versus 3 now as more shots echo with the Sheriffs. And once more, we go 1 for 1. But overall, Na'Vi come out on top of the trades. Hoodie now last standing. I don't think they know that he's managed to sneak his way all the way around here, covering the rest of the site, and they've got to be worried. SSK, though, covering towards the garage, is going to double cover towards the flank as well. And like it or not, he gets the kill. Triple on the round, and Na'Vi up to 6.
Yeah, I mean, difficult one at the end there, pretty much just by the nature of mathematics. If you're the guy holding the angle, You have an advantage there, just because you're probably going to see a shoulder before the Pika sees you. Pretty tried though, Na'Vi getting closer to evening things out. See what it is they go for here. Giants are actually have most of a real buy. Got a Spectre in there.
Whoa, okay, Cloud wasting no time in the round going down as Patino lines them up. David P with one as well. Only SSK able to answer. In the meantime, goodness me, I think that was protection from the robot there. Gonna be good as Ambi finds SSK. Dino last to go in and will go down last as well. 9 rounds now found for the Vodafone Giants as they answer back in round number 3 of the half.
Very aggressive attempt there from Na'Vi, which almost seems uncharacteristic when you think back to the game that we had on Ascent, where everything was so... Oh, it was at a standstill the whole time, incredibly slow. Meanwhile, these engagements seem to be not quite so. Didn't work out though for Na'Vi. Once again, find themselves on the back foot. They've got the Empress again here, although I'd be very surprised to see them use it in this round, given that they're going for a full eco.
And this, remember Gio, this qualification spot is all the more important for both Giants and Na'Vi, because at the moment, in terms of circuit points, they're both sat on 30 right now. Minimum accrues, fair enough. If they get further, they'll get a couple more, but they need more than that if they want to be a team that's going to qualify for the Masters. So it's not only a crucial half to qualify for Berlin, but it's going to be to qualify for the Valorant that's going on in the rest of the year as well. A very, very important match.
Champions, baby. Everyone wants to be there. Now, there's a nice kill from Ambi. I was going to say Giants have put more kind of physical effort into cutting off mid, and it's just allowing them to scoop up these kills. Na'Vi having to expend more utility to push on up, hence the paint shells, but it still doesn't work for them.
Against the pistol, they're clearing it out. They're controlling the mid, and it's working for them. Na'Vi gonna have to go down and rethink their strategy. I wouldn't be too surprised to see attack pause coming out after this, to be honest, Gio. It feels like now's the time for Na'Vi. They want to stay alive here. 10-6 on the half, and Vodafone Giants now 3 rounds away from seeing themselves further into these lower brackets. No
So far, no tack pause, yeah.
I think they've got something.
Let's see if their suspicions are correct. I mean, what do they have? Yeah, they've still got the Empress. They're very close, of course, to the Showstopper. What we got on the other side? Blades from the shadows. Well, I guess we'll find out. You can see actually where they've placed those stars over by vents and by mail rooms. They want to try and cut off the lines of sight that can be held by those players of Giants, who did do a pretty effective job at denying mid entirely to Na'Vi. And that was something that when Na'Vi were on the defense themselves, they really struggled to do. They weren't investing utility into that space, and they very rarely had physical presence anywhere that could kind of hold crossfires or hold lines of sight to prevent Giants from taking it. So it's something that I think Na'Vi have run into here, where one of these lanes that was available to their opponent is suddenly not so much to them.
Shutting that down could be pretty crucial, right?
Yeah, it's quite hard.
I mean, you've got to forge a new path at that point, trying to figure out where you can find these openings. Because for Na'Vi, I mean, their style has been slow, methodical approach, and right now the Vodafone Giants, they aren't letting that sort of thing fly. They're controlling mid. They're doing very well on that front, and they're not letting them go bull rush into these sites as well. So what do you do in these scenarios? I feel like you have to maybe play a little bit more for mid controllers. That seems to be where, on their attacking side, Vodafone Giants had a little bit more strength.
Well, I mean, it's a hard thing as well, because you have to consider the fact, and we did see it in that last round, that in order to break through mid, Na'Vi are having to use a lot more utility. So things like the paint shells, which we saw come out. And what that means is you don't have those available to you later on in the round. So once you do actually finally break in through mid, and let's say you get onto one of the sites and you can plant the spike down, as soon as that post-plant situation comes out and you want to be holding the defenders back, what have you got to do it with? So that's one of the really effective things that happens as you know, as a direct result of this type of play from Giants, is not only do you hold the attackers back, but you force them to use all of the resources that they would need later on.
An early wall coming across the mid for Hoodie, and maybe I think Na'Vi are gonna try and put some presence there, but they're sent back, the paint shell, to see them away. And this is the resources being invested, but by Vodafone Giants, to just send them away from mid. And they back off with not really too much competition. And instead, they've just got to try and leave a lurk to A and go for B.
They're going to be watched. You see that utilities in place right there. Yeah, the camera is literally on top of them.
And the wall is straight across. They're going to try and swing early, but David P has an excellent angle for this. Not to mention the one-way cyber cage. And Na'Vi are just getting bullied around the map here. It feels like this feels like they're moving pretty scared. There's checking in with intel towards Garage as well. They know there's only one player, and they're going to try and leave the spike there. They're splitting up. They're going to try and flank towards Heaven, I believe, and move up. Late control of mid. That's what they were vying for. Falling back, getting some intel. They saw the early wall and they played it like that. An unfortunate blast pack for Cloud means that he slowed down a little bit, but Hoodie's in danger. Needs to be worried. David P around the side as Na'Vi lose a player, but two are answered back and it's traded evenly across it. Meadow goes low and can't quite find that frag. Two players left now standing for the Vodafone Giants, and Na'Vi, a crucial round to find. Can't quite close it just now, but the spike getting planted needs to be delayed. Will come out with the knives. Swinging is going to get planted. Goes up on high. Swings for it, but can't quite get the kill. Dino able to shut it down, and Na'Vi find a crucial round for their tournament lives.
I'll be totally honest, I was worried for a little bit there. When the satchel didn't work properly, they had a little bit of a slip up with that. You know, I got a bit concerned that maybe Giants would be able to aggress and really punish that, but that wasn't the case. They still managed to fire in the showstopper. They got a couple of really valuable kills off the back of that, and that gave them so much space on the site that they could use to flood in. So even though there was then an avenue up in Heaven that those defenders could come in from, already Na'Vi had pretty good power positions to deal with that.
Early wall again. Maybe looking to keep some util in the back pocket for B Heaven next time if this is going to be the route for Na'Vi. Look for the challenge, and Abby nails it. Beautiful start to the round for Vodafone Giants to take the game back into their control. As Cloud moves on up, tries to play aggressive. They're playing with 4, but if they move together, they can have a numbers advantage for a time. That's what they got to leverage. Moving in through vents. There's a trap wire they need to worry about higher on up. Very difficult to deal with this one. If you go up fast, you just get caught by it.
Shadows traveling.
I have the spike.
Dark cover, and once again, we're seeing this classic David P lurk. Although, actually, he's going to be potentially going back, and I wonder if that's partly because, you know, you can see where Cloud is right now.
You should run.
And there's a lot of openness over towards A, but... Alright, the lockdown's going to be put down over in Garage. It's not going to stop David P from getting it from behind. He can't quite shut down the lockdown, though.
Not quite, and that's going to allow the B Heaven push to come through from the Spike carrier. The Raze and the Sage, but it's going to get spotted out in the crossfire. Spike now in control of the defense. 2 players left standing and only 1 for Na'Vi. 14 seconds on the clock. It's a tall order, and there comes the showstopper to put an end to proceedings. Na'Vi go down, and Vodafone Giants 11 and 7. They take the game back to their tempo. So close now to knocking Na'Vi out.
Oh my god, this is where it actually starts to feel real. Na'Vi are on the precipice of having their Berlin dreams ended right here. Giants, they're so close. I mean, you look at Na'Vi, you look at what they're choosing to bring here. I mean, you know, we've got not a very substantial buy. They have to be careful with where they're spending their money.
I mean, it's kind of now or never. They have a couple of people who can buy rifles, a Spectre as well. And what can they do here? What are they going to try and get done? Taking mid control. It worked for them once. They weren't able to get the post plant for the second time around. After Vodafone Giants regrouped. And now you've got a res to face off into. There's the Cosmic Divide at your back, but you really need the guns in this round. The ults might come online in a round or maybe two if you're lucky. It's going to be hard. David P up to face, goes for the spray, and at range, Arch goes down, gets away, 36 HP, but the damage is done. Arch no longer in proceedings.
Things is going to have to be careful as well, because if he pushes up too much here, then Ambi holding the operator is going to be a problem. Meanwhile, SSK trying to look around into Mel. There's that shot from Ambi that I was worried about. Defenders have really firm control here of both sites. They have to invest the Cosmic Divide, the attackers, to try and hold back some scrap of defense that they can. And even though they get one kill, there's another for SSK, but they keep being traded.
Coutinho just answering from heaven, trying to play around this Cosmic Divide as well. Finally swings out, Cloud gets it. Ambi with the operator against Cloud, the last standing for Na'Vi. They're down and out in terms of money. They're going to be destitute after this one. Ambi around the corner, turns out the pistol, and Ambi wins the duel. It's 12-7 for Vodafone Giants, and they are on the precipice here. Over on split, on match point to knock Na'Vi out.
It has been a long series so far. This has been a long road to try and figure out who it is that's going to be going forward, and it could be answered in this next round. Na'Vi, the pressure is so much on their shoulders. But I can't help but feel things are working against them. They can't even afford a full buy. They have no ultimates. They're going up against an op. They're going up against rifles. They're going up against a res.
As soon as one of them goes down as well, if Meadow's anywhere nearby, they can get the beat on it. A little bit less impactful on the attack than it is on the defense, but still... So you need to be worried about control of the mid continuing to be taken here. Na'Vi don't want to give anything over. A site now on the menu. Ambi held it down last time. When the chips are down, will he be able to do it again? Long range operator covering the cross. And what do you have? You have the Lear to try and guard it. You have the Star as well. Not really going to be able to do too much. Off goes the Blast Pack, and will send the rays over the top now. The blind comes through, the sprays are there, trying to control the opening. Cloud nails the headshot, but Vitinho starts to spray into the paint shell. Blast Pack to stay alive, and it's 1-for-1 so far on a shoddy buy. That's good news for Na'Vi. They're able to bring things back a little bit, but what more can they do? Ambi needs to hit the shot, and he does. Sprays are good though for Na'Vi. 2 kills go down, and they start to get the plant in. 2 ultimates are available. The res for Hoodie as well, and they will invest it here. Bring back David P. Bring back the Rat King himself and see what he can rise from underneath. They will start to move on through, control all of the players towards the back of site, corral them in. As a slow can come on through. Now for the retake phase. They pick up a Spectre. They look for the drop. There's not a lot of time, Geo. In comes the showstopper as Na'Vi try and hold on to it. They want to peek out towards screen, slow things down just a little bit, but it's not going to find the damage. Hoodie gets 1. They mount up for more, but the rest is invested as well as Cloud gets the spray. Finds 4 on the round. It could be an ace to close this down, but Meadow going to be the last to face, and there's no time left in the day. Out wide, it's Dino, and he's looking for more. Will fall down to the spike, but it's not going to matter. Na'Vi stay alive in the 11th hour.
Oh my god, I feel like I held my breath for that entire round. Good lord. Res being used on both sides. The showstopper invested from Na'Vi. Oh, I mean, ultimately, really time won. The clock really won in that round. And that was so nerve-wracking as well, because Na'Vi, they didn't have anything to prevent any kind of defensive push coming in from screens. That was just so scary. Ambi straight up taken out. First blood in this round. That's a big loss as well.
Vodafone Giants cannot let this stumble get to them. They need to keep it together here. Stay strong, stay vigilant, because it's picks like that that will lose you games. With Ambi going down, that's not the best start. Didn't have the knives online. But Vitinho picks up the operator. They can trade the gun back potentially over towards Hoodie, but it's so far away. David P continuing to rotate through the map, but it's slow.
Again, I guess Na'Vi are going for this very similar approach. Vitinho narrowly misses that shot. He's going to change his position.
Spike down A.
Oh,
my
huge.
God.
Vitinho finds two. SSK swings to get the trade, and the spike will go down, but the job has been done. Two players fall, and it's even Stevens. No res is available. They were both used last time. David P has got the ult. Can try and gather some intel on positions. They might try and move as a wrecking ball. They move down the ramps. Two players trying to swing. Only a Sheriff in the hands of Hoodie. Cloud playing close, gets spotted and a headshot lands. Beautiful start for Vodafone Giants, and they leave them with one. Dino goes down, and it's Meadow to close it out. It's Na'Vi taking a tumble, and the Vodafone Giants come back for the retake. It's the game, it's the match, and it's Na'Vi getting eliminated. Vodafone Giants stay alive in the lower bracket. Here, the VCT.
Na'Vi fought tenaciously, but at the end, it just was not enough. And in a series that felt like it seemed to last forever, finally we get our answer as to who is going forward here in the lower bracket. It's going to be Vodafone Giants. It's going to be that continued redemption arc for David P. It's going to be this gang of misfits who are proving what they're worth on this international stage here as they play in the EMEA playoffs. Na'Vi, I mean, honestly, for a team that is only just started being represented by a tier 1 org, I have to say they've had a fantastic run so far, but they just couldn't pull it out at the end.
Absolutely. They need to be proud of themselves to hold their heads up high on that one. It was phenomenal. Phenomenally strong there coming through from this team, and a great performance. I mean, you take a look at what they were able to do on map 2. Great. Over and over again, proving their mettle. But unfortunately, when it came to split, they just weren't up to the task of that attacking side. Vodafone Giants, it seemed like they may have figured something out about that map, have tried to regen their confidence there, and it actually did work out pretty well. And one of those players for Vodafone Giants is going to be our Pay Safe Card Player of the Match. That's right, you need to head over to Twitter and take your vote. Your choices are going to be Meadow, Vitinho, and David P. We're going to be taking a look at just who that is over on the desk when we talk about that later. But Gio, I've asked you so many times before, who is your vote?
I mean, I feel like I can't pick anyone who isn't David P, just because, even though, you know, we actually spoke about him quite a bit in that last map because of specific plays he was doing, but there were a lot of times where we could recognize certain calls that were being made by Vodafone Giants, and knowing that he's the epicenter of a lot of that, and that he's so much of the brains behind what's going on within this team. A great support player as well, so that's who it has to be for me.
Fair enough. I think that's a very good read, but I'm a Cypher main, and Cypher mains stick together, so Meadow all the way. Of course, I'm a big fan. Meadow, give me some pointers. I'll hit you up on Twitter later. But we're going to be headed over to a break. We'll come back with the analyst desk. That's going to be it from me and Gio. We'll see you guys later. Get some water, stay hydrated. We'll see you in a few.
The Vodafone Giants, they emerge on the other side of this series. Yeah, they're bloody, they're battered, they're bruised, but they're certainly looking better than the other guys, the saying goes, right? For Na'Vi, their journey here has drawn to an end. And now, you know, to the victor, the spoils. We get to sit back and actually talk one-on-one with the Giants guys. We got David P on the line, so let's get him up on the screen here. Let's pull him in. David, how's it going? How are you feeling? You must be pretty happy after this victory.
Yeah, of course, happy because it was a tough match, to be honest. Losing all pistols was really hard, to be honest. They gave us a hard fight, and yeah, proud to be winning this game. Proud to be winning and looking forward to be playing Guild in 3 days.
So David, we are going to get on to the real hard-hitting questions, but talk to me about this background that you got going on behind you here. It's quite the setup.
Yeah, I don't know. I love a lot of movies, a lot of series, so yeah.
Right. Yeah. Zesh, you got anything for the guy?
Yeah, I would be very interested into something, David, because you have absolutely voluntarily tried to play Breeze in this, right? And it didn't go that well. Specifically, it seemed like the A-side defense was sometimes lacking options. What was the thought process behind the Breeze pick? Was it more an adaptation to Na'Vi or your own choice that you actually feel comfortable on the map?
We feel comfortable, but we just need to talk about few things that we need to fix. It's a new map, right? And we are a new roster. We didn't have time to work on every map, so obviously we cannot be ready on 6 maps already. So we just need to work and review the game and just fix few things, and I believe we will be really good on this map.
All right, well, I'll have a question as well. Typically something that I ask almost everyone from the IGLs who are showing up here, because I'm always interested to hear, did you do any specific preparations coming against Natus Vincere here? Did you take a look at the playstyle? Did you have any counter strats? How did that look from your side?
Yeah, I personally rewatched their game on Split. So I had few anti-thrusts against them. I knew when they for example Killjoy ult, they will be playing in a certain way, so it was a free round for us. They played exactly like I saw on the VOD, and yeah, I watch every maps against them because I wanna be ready for every opponent and see the play style, see how they play. So we're ready to adapt in the game, and of course Pipson did it as well. So he briefed us, and yeah, we do it against every opponent.
I have just a quick follow-up then. Did you feel comfortable playing against the slow default setup that they typically do? Was there anything that you wanted to do to counter that default positioning when they attack?
Every maps you mean, or Split?
Yeah, they typically very slow attack very slowly, right, and set up a default position.
I feel like on Ascent, yeah, it was a bit rough, but on Split we are really I feel like we are one of the best team in Europe on Split, to be honest. We are crushing everyone on this map. We know how to play. We know we have a really good feeling on the map. We know how to play against slow, executes. We have everything. We are adapting. So yeah, it doesn't matter how we play. We just adapt, and I feel like we have a good communication and we have a good chemistry. So
all right,
yeah.
Thank you.
Right, so final question then, and then we can get you out of here, David P. I'm just curious, you're facing Guild next, still down in this lower bracket, still fighting with your backs against the wall. When does the prep get started? When does the hard work begin? And what are your thoughts ahead of that matchup?
We're gonna chill a little bit because it was a exhausting match, to be honest. And then we will have 2 days, I believe, to just work, see how they play, and just fix our mistakes. And yeah, we will give everything till the end to qualify to Berlin, to be honest. We really want the qualification, and we believe that we deserve it, so we're gonna fight.
Right, well, best of luck, man. Thank you so much for coming on here, and it's been a pleasure. Take care.
Thank you.
Sweet, so that was David P from Giants, the victors here. Na'Vi's journey drawn to a close. Stick around, because we'll be back in just a moment, right? We still have a whole series to break down. We've still got some things to tee up, some housekeeping to attend to. Don't go anywhere. promised you we'd be back, and I always keep my promises. Vodafone Giants, they take down Na'Vi in this series 2-1. It all culminates on Split, and it was a rip-roaring affair. Giants, they come out on top, they look good throughout, and you know, they really started to exert some dominance there when we get onto this third and final map. I'm kind of happy they close it in the fashion that they do, right? They really rise to the occasion and show that, yeah, it's them who wanted this victory, right, Lothar?
Well, for sure, and I feel like they exposed a little bit Na'Vi in a split. Like they said, they were well prepared. David P mentioned that they knew how Na'Vi will play, the way they're gonna do the executes, so they had a counter for that. And also like the fact that they were actually more effective on attack than Na'Vi would have been prepared for, right? Because I feel like for Na'Vi, it's a big issue if they do not perform on defense.
Yeah, look, so we got some of these highlights rolling through in the background. I think, you know, that there were some good talking points here, right? We had that little switch up as well between Fatinho and Ambi, right? Swapping the Raze and Jet around. That felt like it gave Fatinho a bit of a second wind. You know, he'd been playing Jet in both the previous maps. He'd had a bit of a struggle. Maybe it's this little push, you know, little change that helped reignite him, because he proved to be a very, very key player here on this third and final map of Split.
And the fact is that he actually did had a lot of defensive operator kills on his Raze, and he was playing confidently like he would have been still playing the Jet. So it didn't really change his playstyle. I feel like he just needed to hit the stride, and he actually had on the defense, if I'm not mistaken, 5 defensive kills on operators in like span of 3 rounds or something, which was definitely one of the crucial parts of the success for Giants here on Split.
Yeah, it was just great as well to get to see Giants with like a Jet that was really looking good, right? Ambi, I think, rose to the occasion quite well in that little switch up, and yeah, man, the Vodafone Giants, they do come out ahead. For Na'Vi, I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I don't think they can be too disappointed with this, right? They still did well. It's just it's a shame that it falls apart in the fashion that it does. If you're a Na'Vi fan, I maybe would have rather a bit of a closer scoreline here. Zest, one player that we were pretty impressed with here was Mr. David P, the guy we just had on for an interview.
Exactly. Mr. Prince himself is obviously one of the guys you want to highlight, because I think if one man really got popularity due to lurking, it is David P. And you might sound, man, this guy's showing us a damn boring round. You will see that David P once more has made it possible to get around the entirety of A to come up at the end of B. And David was doing a smart move here, because it's the attacker's killjoy that he unfortunately doesn't take down. Could have hypothetically done it, is missing a few shots there in the end, but you get the idea, you get the move, still gets a kill, still is causing a bit of trouble for the side of Na'Vi, and at the end of the day, this is also working out. Though, you know, it got a little iffy here and there, you gotta say, it got a little close. It doesn't change the matter of fact that the impact of this Lurks has been quite good. At the same time, Lothar said it. He was absolutely right. The thing is, when you have such a defaulty team like Na'Vi, when you're waiting so long to have opponents do mistakes and run basically into you, you have to raise the question, how can David get away with this so often?
On Ascent and on Split, right? Both 2 maps that they lost were affected by David P so much with his lurks. Like, I do have questions about the defaulty setups, because the main reason why you play default in every single game is like, okay, we're gonna punish the people that push into our crosshairs because we are prepared for them, they are not prepared for us, right? And Hoodie actually looked way less from mid than he typically does. That's what I have seen. But David kept doing the same stuff over and over and punishing Na'Vi overall. He had 12 first bloods over the course of the 3 maps, which is nuts. He was the most impactful players when it comes to first bloods for his team. But also, the thing is, on Split, it was Giants who were playing on the deficit on the first bloods. Na'Vi actually had more first bloods. It was just by 1, but it's still like a, you know, if you have an advantage in most of the rounds and you can't carve your way into a win, that your round conversion is pretty low then, and that's a very big issue if you cannot play on an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't win 5v4, when can you win, right? I guess is how it starts to feel. On top of that as well, I think like the fact that David P is the guy at the helm of this squad, right? The guy calling the shots. When he's hitting those timings on the lurks and he's exposing those holes in the default setup, it must feel so good, right? That is like a very raw response that just shows like, This guy's got the read on the game, right? He is exposing these gaps in the setup.
Although there were a few lurks that made me laugh. You know? On Ascent, in pistol round, I was like, ooh, you're pretty far away.
It's always going to be the case, right? Like, whenever you are like this kind of heavy lurk style, like, you either look like a genius or like a madman who's like losing it.
They're very
and that's
close
the
to each
thing,
other.
right? So the reason why we're talking about David P so damn much is because he is our pay safe card player of the match here. Everyone fell in love with this guy. We fell in love with his lurk, and we fell in love with the gameplay, the
that Linker,
leadership.
David?
And look at this, right? It's more just shooting them in the back. Yeah, all right, it's not the cleanest one you've ever seen, but he still gets the double. And that's the thing, man. When you're hitting timings like this guy is, you don't need the crispest aim, mate. They're not even looking at you. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's easy.
I've never tried it. You gotta ask the NA friends. But right, I really gotta say here about all of those things we just mentioned, everything that was so good for the side of those guys from Giants, I still think they were beatable. I genuinely think they were beatable. Na'Vi could have stood a chance at this. It's not like Liquid versus Oxygen where you can already pack your bags after the first 7 rounds, right? Totally not the same thing. Because there was also so often the occurrence of Na'Vi having a big issue winning buy rounds. They had a good chunk of those, and still they couldn't capitalize on those. Somehow they were always at least outclassed or even sometimes overrun by forces from the Vodafone Giants side.
Well, let's start putting a bow on this then. Lothar, do you have any like closing thoughts? Maybe positive things for Na'Vi to take away from this, as well as like hyping up the Giant squad?
I don't think there's anything more remarkable than winning every single pistol round in a best of 3. Like,
That's
if you
decent.
can do that, I feel like you are setting up yourself for success. Like, pistol round, in my eyes, is the most important part of the game. So if you're doing that well, that means you're on a, let's say, a good path to success in the later stages of the game. Now we just have to fix the problems that are coming after it. But since you have pistol rounds nailed, that's fantastic.
Yeah, well, you know, that's us putting a bow on this matchup. Then let's start looking to the future. Let's bring up the bracket, because we know that Na'Vi are now gone. Their journey has been brought to a close. We start to set up these games tomorrow. We're looking at Ascend taking on Gambit, and then SMB versus G2.
Yeah. Dude, but I mean, those are some nuts matches.
Yeah, man.
Ascend versus Gambit. I know what I'm watching.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people, right, these are like 2 of the teams to keep an eye on. So tomorrow's game is going to be stacked. You can also see down there in the lower bracket what's been going on, right? Things really starting to heat up as it's all coming to a head. So we've already said, you know, Gambit Ascend probably the matchup to keep an eye on, right? We got the schedule on screen now, but can you try to get me hyped for SMB G2, Zesh? It's quite the challenge when you look at the other matchup.
Why in God's name would I not be hyped for SMB versus G2? I mean, honestly, at that point in time, I think Supermassive Blaze, where we all came in with those question marks regarding the Turkish scene, fighting against the European one. We knew how this one ended back in the day. Things turned around. The Turkish scene stepped up massively. And I definitely believe that Supermassive Blaze stand a solid chance, but never ever start to underestimate G2. They got the firepower of Kellogg's, the brain of Coldamenta, and the great support of Mixwell.
Well, we can start casting our minds forward, right, and look into the future. We've covered the schedule, but for anyone still wanting to consume more Valorant, I've got some good news for you, right? This evening, there is a banger matchup going on in the NA playoffs for challenges. Of course, it's the grand final over there. Lothar, man, do you want to talk me through who and what is happening and why this is such a big deal?
You're setting me up to be on the competitive Reddit for the second time
for the second time in one day. I got you, man. I got you.
I mean, I'm pretty hyped to watch Sentinels play against 100 Thieves because, as I said it earlier in the broadcast, I do feel like those 2 teams are spearheading right now the meta game over the North American continent, but also I feel like EU is behind that meta game. Like when I was watching yesterday, the split from 100 Thieves, with the Viper being played very well, with the KO being implemented into their strategy, the executes being timed correctly, and then you have Sentinels who are, well, the best team currently in the world, right? They don't do anything flashy when it comes to executes, but they do play, I think, the best fundamental game so far in Valorant that we have ever seen. They play so well with each other. It's actually insane. Tens, I don't know how is that possible because he was always a beast, but he's actually better. Like he takes less risks. I feel he was sometimes punished, you know, by his cockiness when it comes to like taking aim duels, and now he's more in line with how Sentinels play as a team, and suddenly he became even better when he has those other teammates behind him.
Dude, it is such a sick matchup, right? And it's almost like a battle for the throne of NA, which, with it being such a prestigious region, man, I mean, ooh, it's all on the line. I wasn't going to do this, but seeing as we do have the time for it, like, what predictions would you guys give me for that matchup in the future? Who do you think? Sentinels still on top, or 100 Thieves out for some blood?
I would definitely say that the Sentinels sent the regards at that point, right?
Yeah.
And 100 Thieves, obviously, you know, obviously, when you just take a look at the names, the better ones on the table, if we talk for the entire history, but we've seen history doesn't matter. Your knowledge from past games doesn't matter. And Sentinels being the best team in the world, very much for a good reason, because fundamentals, we've seen this so often in the EMEA region, they're the key to success. And they are really good with that.
Or are you,
I mean, Sentinels are just so far ahead of the game so far. It's like, they're probably gonna win.
Yeah, but that's why it's such a sick matchup, right? It's seeing have 100 people put in that effort, been on the grind to take a victory there. We can start to wrap this up, though. We do have one other thing I want to talk about, and that is that tomorrow we have a very special guest. I'm just going to drop a little hint. I'm not going to give you much to go off of here, but I'll tell you this, right? Biggest heart, biggest brain in all of the EUC, and that's how I'm going to look at this guy. So there's your hint. You can try work out who it is, but you'll know tomorrow. So, that's all from us for today. That's us signing off. We're all said and done, but don't worry, there's still more Valorant to come on the NA stream. That's twitch.tv/Valorant. We'll see you soon.
Of those guys.
Now for the retake phase. They pick up a Spectre. They look for the drop. There's not a lot of time, Geo. In comes the showstopper as Na'Vi try and hold on to it. They want to peek out towards screen, slow things down just a little bit, but it's not going to find the damage. Hoodie gets one. They mount up for more, but the rest is invested as well as Cloud gets the spray. Finds 4 on the round. It could be an ace to close this down, but Meadow going to be the last to face, and there's no time left in the day. Out wide, it's Dino, and he's looking for more. Will fall down to the spike, but it's not going to matter. Na'Vi stay alive in the 11th hour.
Oh my god, I feel like I held my breath for that entire round. Good lord. Res being used on both sides. The showstopper invested from Na'Vi. Oh, I mean, ultimately, really tight.
Why is it so laggy?
Revealing area. Shock dart. Shock dart. Shock dart. Scanning ahead. Scanning ahead. Revealing area. Scanning ahead. Scanning ahead. Revealing area. Revealing area. Scanning ahead. Scanning ahead.
すげえ EDM のあれじゃん。
Revealing area. Scanning ahead. Scanning ahead. Revealing area. 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 Shock dart. Shock dart. Shock dart. Shock dart. Shock dart.
What the fuck? What is that guy doing?リテイクしに動こうとした感じ。なんで上上がる必要なの？ 水泳